I want to take us into the third space of education, which I believe is the most important, but we don't perhaps spend enough time on it. Now, this third space is values. It is the values of judging. Now, one of you talked about aptitude. Aptitude is another word. It can be aptitude, it can be values, it can be attitudes. But I want you to think about this idea of values, because we've talked about judges needing to be honest. We all know this is fundamentally important. If we have a dishonest judge, he or she destroys public trust in the system. Now, honesty is not knowledge. Think about this. Honesty is not knowledge, and it is not skill. Honesty is values. Okay? That values are the way we hold ourselves as a person. Values are the way we see the world. Values are the way we want the world to see us. You think about a good judge, I argue the most important quality of the good judge, not the average judge, the good judge, are the values that she or he brings to their office. Can any of you remember why I want to talk to you about the 26th of January 2000? No? You're not sure? Well, I'll tell you. There's two reasons. The first is that it is the Australia Day. This is very important if you're Australian. It's our national holiday. You have Pakistan National Day, we have Australia Day. 26th of January every year is our national holiday. But you don't need to write this down, because this is not the purpose of the story. The purpose of the story is that President Musharraf issued an ordinance called the Oath of Judges Order. And on the day before the 26th, at about 5 o'clock, he ordered that every judge in the country swear an oath of allegiance to his administration. And even when I say it, it makes me feel upset. He ordered that all judges swear a new oath to his administration at 9 o'clock on the 26th of January. Do you know what happened? What happened? The Chief Justice resigned, and 13 of the 16 judges of the Supreme Court resigned. And many judges at the level of the High Court also resigned. There was a purging of the judiciary. Now, why is this an important story to tell you? It is an important story because what the president, who was running a coup, this was on any measure an illegal administration, what he was asking, what he was ordering the judges to do was to abandon their oath to your constitution. This was deeply fundamental, and I remain impressed that the judicial leadership resigned as a result of that. What that shows is that your judicial leadership understood deeply that their role was to administer law under the Constitution and not under the current administration. I often think, that judges are the guardians. It is the judges who are the guardians of the Constitution. It is not the politicians. It is not the presidents and the prime ministers and the governors. They are not the guardians of the Constitution. It is you. And every day in court, it is you. And the Constitution is a noble document because it defines the values of your society. If you read the Constitution not as a lawyer, but as a human being, you will see that it defines what you as a people regard as being precious. It is the single document that does that. And you officers are the protectors of these values in everything you do and in every case that you hear. It's a sacred and a very important duty. Situations of domestic violence. Serious domestic violence is a serious crime. And yet we know most victims of this crime do not complain to the authorities. For many reasons. They may be cultural, they may be social, they may be, it brings shame. There may be many reasons why the victim of a serious criminal assault in the household does not seek justice. And yet, she has that right. But she may not know how to exercise that right. This is a serious problem for justice systems all around the world, not just Pakistan, all around the world. Courts are struggling. How do we provide justice to people who are victims of serious crimes inside the home or outside the home? They may not know that you can help them. This is why access to justice is important. They have rights that they don't know how to exercise. This is very serious stuff. I want you to think about it. Because it may mean that as a judicial officer, you should sometimes go out into the community or tell your court staff to go into the community to help educate people about how the court can help them. The last value is service. And service, I think, is important because sometimes I work with judges and it is not clear that they understand that they are providing a public service. A judge is not just administering the law. Yes, he or she is administering the law. Clearly, that is one of the things. But you are providing a public service. You are providing a service for the community and to the community. Now, what this means is, I mean, it's not like you are a shopkeeper. You're not a taxi driver. You know, it's not that sort of service. It's a service to the litigants and a service to the public. Because if you can resolve disputes and if you can administer law, then society will be stable. But if there's no justice in society, then there will be conflict. And ultimately there may be revolution. An unjust society is unstable. You play a vital role in that. But ultimately you are serving the public. You are a public officer. You are an officer of the public providing a service to the public. Now, I hope that you have flourishing careers, and I hope that you find this discussion useful in helping you to flourish as judges of Baluchistan. Thank you.